Thank the gentlelady. I will now recognize Mr. Kiley of the great state of California.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to our witnesses for the incredible courage that you've shown in sharing with America the heartbreak and horror that you've endured. Please continue to advocate. Yours are the most powerful voices in trying to prevent other parents and grandparents from experiencing the horror and heartbreak that you have. We will never be able to fully eradicate crime from our communities, but we can reduce those crimes that result from failed politics, from radical ideologies, from insane policies. And the reality is that far too many tragedies of the kind that we've heard about today are preventable if we just had a little more common sense when it comes to public safety. In jurisdictions like this one and far too many places across this country, the sense that crime is just a fact of life has become far too entrenched, that this is just the way it has to be. A sense of political complacency has sunk in, to the point that, according to the latest state of safety survey from the organization SafeWise, half of Americans do not feel safe in their own communities. And this is more true nowhere else than in my own state of California, where, according to the same survey, 64% of Californians feel a high daily level of concern for their safety, which is the highest of any state in the nation. 72% of Californians say they are highly concerned about violent crime happening to them, also the highest of any state in the country. So this is not just a abstract issue. These are the vast majority of people saying that they've heard about the sort of horrors that we've heard about today, and they fear that it could happen to them or to someone they love. This sense of lawlessness is seen in the ordinary conditions of life for people as well. In Los Angeles, the police chief has advised people, do not wear your jewelry when you go outside. People have to walk through homeless encampments on their way to work with all manner of drug use and other unlawful activity. You walk into a CVS or a basic store and your shampoo and conditioner is under lock and key because theft is so rampant. We see that in Washington, D.C. as well. You probably see it here in Charlotte. So these, and in fact, in my own state of California, we just had an incident 2 weeks ago where, in apparently an act of politically motivated violence, an individual fired 3 shots into a local news organization, and he was at large for some time, and then we all breathed a sigh of relief when he was apprehended. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The shots didn't hit anyone. But then he was immediately released. A man who just fired 3 shots into a news studio. Fortunately, there was a federal nexus. The FBI apprehended him soon after that. But this is the core of the problem. It's criminology 101, that the best deterrent against crime is the certainty of punishment. And the way that many of these jurisdictions are set up is there's various dimensions to the criminal justice system that undermine the certainty of punishment. So if you're a criminal committing even a very serious crime, you probably think there's not a very good chance you're going to get caught because the police departments are understaffed and they've been defunded. But then even if you do get caught, there's a good chance you won't be prosecuted because you have these rogue district attorneys who don't prosecute crime. But then even if you do get prosecuted, there's a pretty good chance you'll be let out on pretrial release, on bail, or even maybe on unsupervised release without bail. Or then even if you are convicted, then the punishments are so weak that it really won't be much of a punishment at all. The good news is public opinion has turned sharply against these sort of radical policies that have gotten to this point. Even in California last year, Californians passed a proposition to make crime illegal again by restoring appropriate consequences that passed with almost 70% of the vote, despite opposition from the governor and the political establishment. We also saw some of these reckless district attorneys in our state removed from office, and because of that, we've actually seen a modest improvement in crime that is starting to be felt in our state. So, Mr. Chair, I think this is precisely the time when we can say, and we're seeing it in Washington, D.C., by the way, where we have a controlled experiment going on, where you can at least turn a couple of the levers to increase the certainty of punishment, and what do you know? Crime goes down. I think that we need to use that as an example for how we can bring public safety to communities across this country. And I think that starts, by the way, first and foremost, with supporting our law enforcement. So thank you to all the law enforcement with us here today. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr.